Welcome to the Mindful News channel. I'm currently in Rhodes, enjoying a family vacation, but I really wanted to take some time to explain how to best use this website. We got podcasts, we got videos, we got testimonials, everything that you need to get introduced to mindfulness. But what I want to dig into this video is to explain, well, what is it? Why is it important? And just as importantly, how do we practice mindfulness? Hope you enjoy it. So mindfulness is a tool that we use to bring ourselves back to the present moment. So for example, now I'm sitting here on the beaches in Rhodes, enjoying a family vacation. I'm enjoying the view. Then a thought pops up about work or something on my to-do list. So that's taken me away from enjoying this view, from enjoying being present to being on holiday. So mindfulness is the skill that we practice so that we become aware when we're in the present moment and we're hijacked into thinking about something that we don't want to think about. Not only does it make us aware of it, but it's a tool that we use to then bring us back to the present moment, back to enjoying the view, back to enjoying the scenes and being on a holiday. Now, why is it important? It's important because we spend most of our lives doing stuff that we don't want to do. All right, so let me explain what that means. Again, let's go back to, I'm walking along the beach or I'm sat here enjoying myself. What is my intention? My intention is to be present, enjoy the view, the smells and the sights, enjoy my holiday, be present with my family. What I don't want to do is to be sat here enjoying my coffee and then start to think and worry about other things. I don't want to do that. But thoughts will arise. We can't stop that. It's just a natural phenomenon that takes place, thought after thought after thought. And when we practice mindfulness, we realize that whether someone paid us £1 million or not, we can't stop the thoughts from arising. But what we can do is that when they do arise, I've noticed this thoughts arising, and I now can apply a technique, a remediation, to stop that thought in its tracks and come back to enjoying it. And it's really important because we live most of our lives in this daydream, where we want to be on holiday and enjoy it, but in fact, what we're experiencing in our mind and our thoughts is not congruent to the actual reality, which is quite sad, because you want to be in bed and you want to be sleeping, but you're starting to think about work the next day, or you're thinking about problems or the arguments that you had. That's not what you want to do. And this goes on all the time. That's why there's mental health issues. That's why there's so much depression, sadness, and stress. Again, it's not your fault. It's completely normal. Mindfulness is the tool that we use that in those moments where the thoughts escape us and they hijack the moment, we use this technique and this tool to bring us back to the present, bring us back to the conversation we were having, back to the movie we were watching, back to the view that we're enjoying and the holiday that we're having. So let me give you a framework for meditation or for mindfulness. It's one that I've been using ever since I began almost 10 years ago, and it's very simple. I close my eyes. If and when a thought arises, which believe me it will, I notice that thought, and I go back to my breathing. Where do I feel the sensation the most? I'm not thinking about my breath, I'm trying to feel it as I inhale and exhale. So I go back to my breathing. And before too long, another thought's going to arise. You know, what am I going to eat later? Okay, so that thought arises. Sometimes it may take a few moments, it probably will, to notice that thought. But as soon as you notice it, just like a scientist would, there's the data point, a thought has arisen, I'm going to go back to my breathing. And each time I go back, that is a metaphorical mental push-up. I've noticed the distraction, I've now brought it back to my breath. One push-up. And within my 5-10 minute period of mindfulness, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get in as many reps as I can. I notice the thought, I bring it back. Another example, so I'm getting my eyes closed. I need to buy suntan lotion, we've run out. That's a thought. So without judgment, I'm just going to almost pop that thought like a soap bubble, and I do that by bringing my attention back. Where do I notice it? I notice it here. and I've now completed the rep. But I've noticed the thought, which is running out of suntan lotion, need to buy more. Now that I'm aware of it, the remediation or my response is then to go back to the breathing, go back to the breathing. And the challenge is, how many reps can you get into your allotted time? If you've never done it before, I recommend starting with a few minutes. You set a timer, then you work your way to 5 minutes, and ideally 10 minutes a day is a sweet spot to begin. And it's like going to the gym. You know, the more muscles you want, the more frequently you go to the gym, it's on you. And again, this is easier said than done. If you have thoughts that are very stressful or make you feel really anxious, and especially thoughts that, you know, cycle through your mind regularly, you know, those have been deeply ingrained. And to rewire that takes a lot of practice. All those years that you've been, you know, you've been part of those thoughts, you live with those thoughts. To train your mind to unravel that takes a lot of practice. And again, the more fearful, the more anxiety it causes, the harder it's going to be. So don't worry too much about doing this perfectly. There's no right and wrong. Just keep in your mind the idea of reps. Even if that 5 minutes, you noticed a thought and you brought it back to your breath once, okay, that's 1 point. That's 1 gold coin in the pocket. And if you're someone that's tried meditation, you say, oh, it's not for me because I have too many thoughts. Good. You should be having thoughts. It's normal. It's the nature of the mind. But when you notice that thought, you bring it back. It's about these little battles that we win. You're not trying to do something groundbreaking. We're just doing small little steps. I notice a thought, I bring it back. And even out of 100 thoughts that you may have in that 5 minutes, even if you bring it back once, that's 1 step, that's 1 gold coin. Then we move on to two gold coins, 2 mental push-ups. So I notice the thought, I need to send that email. Okay, I'll bring it back. That's a gold coin. That's muscle memory. And that's money in the bank. And you do it again. I need to go shops later. That's a thought. I come back to my breath. That's that 2nd mental push-up. So remember, think of it as accumulating gold coins or doing as many mental push-ups as you can. Or every time you do it, you get a tick. However you want to visualize it, think of them as stabilizers on your bicycle. For some people, they're not necessary, but for most, we need a bit of guidance. We need a bit of hand-holding in the beginning. I hope you found that useful. Again, we have full meditations where we go into the anchor, into the mental push-up, and then we look at how do we apply that to reduce anxiety, to make us feel more confident. Go check this out on the website.